Hi, Andy here, the author of the Make Each Click Count book series and host of the Make Each Click Count podcast. Today's AMA topic is one that's been stirring up debates across digital marketing forums, Slack channels, and maybe even a few family dinners with ad managers. The impact of broad match and smart bidding on search campaign control. Let's dig into it. First off, what is broad match and smart bidding? Glad you asked, because Google's recommendations tend to push these pretty hard, and it's easy to get caught up. Broad match is the loosest keyword match type in Google Ads. You bid on the keyword running shoes, and Google may decide that your ad should show up for best sneakers for treadmill walking, or comfortable shoes, or heck, maybe even orthopedic insoles, if it's feeling adventurous. Smart bidding, on the other hand, is Google's automated bidding system. It uses machine learning, their term for trust us, we've got this, to set bids based on the likelihood of conversion. There are different strategies under this umbrella, like target ROAS, max conversions, and target CPA. Individually, both tools have value, but together, let's just say things can get interesting. So what's the problem? Control, or rather, loss of it. When you combine broad match with smart bidding, you're giving Google a lot of freedom. In theory, you're allowing the machine to learn faster, optimize smarter, and reach untapped audiences. In practice, you're often letting Google drive your Porsche with a blindfold on. It might stay on the road, but there's going to be some dents. Here's the thing, broad match opens the floodgates of traffic. Smart bidding decides how much you're paying to let that traffic in. Without proper guardrails, negative keywords, audience exclusions, conversion tracking that's airtight, the system can run wild. You might see clicks rise and conversions tank. Or worse, you may hit your ROAS target, but only by cannibalizing your brand terms. What kind of results do I typically see? Let me give you a real-world example. I had a client, mid-sized e-commerce store, solid product line, decent brand recognition. We ran a controlled test. Campaign A, phrase, match plus manual CPC with some enhanced bidding. Campaign B, broad match plus target ROAS, smart bidding. Within 2 weeks, Campaign B had more impressions and clicks, about 40% more. But the conversion rate dropped by over 30%, and the cost conversion was nearly double. Why? Because smart bidding chased volume, not value. Campaign A had fewer clicks, but those clicks converted consistently. We had control over what searches triggered our ads, how much we bid, and where the budget went. But doesn't smart bidding learn over time? Yes, it can, but only if your conversion tracking is solid and your account has enough data. Google says you need at least 15 conversions in the last 30 days for target CPA, and ideally more for target ROAS. But let's be honest, that's a minimum viable suggestion, not a best practice. In reality, I recommend 50 to 100 conversions per month, per campaign, before trusting smart bidding to make the right decisions. Even then, Google's algorithm doesn't know your margins, your inventory levels, your customer LTV, or your goals beyond what you feed it. So yes, it learns. But that doesn't mean it's always learning the right lessons. So when should I use broad match plus smart bidding? I'm not against automation, just blind automation. Here's when it can work. You have tons of high quality conversion data feeding into Google Ads via proper tagging, not just GA4. You're running target ROAS or target CPA, and your metrics have been stable for 90 plus days. You're okay with giving up some control in exchange for potential reach. Best case? Use broad match in isolated test campaigns. Don't flip your entire account into broad plus smart overnight because Google recommended it with a green check mark. Think of it like letting your teenager drive the family car. You give them the keys, but not to the Porsche on day one. How do I keep control while still testing automation? Great question. Here's my formula. 1. Start with phrase or exact match plus manual or enhanced CPC. 2. Build out your search term report weekly. Add negatives, refine match types, remove junk. 3. Once you've gathered enough conversions, create a duplicate campaign with broad match plus smart bidding and run it side by side. 4. Monitor search terms CPCs, conversion rate ROAS, and overlap with branded keywords. And don't let Google mix your broad match traffic with your branded terms unless you're cool with paying $4 for clicks you used to get for $4.50. Final thoughts. Google's automation tools are powerful, but like a chainsaw, just because it cuts fast doesn't mean you want to use it on everything, especially if you value precision. Broad match plus smart bidding is tempting. It's easy. It's fast. And sometimes it works. But you need strategy, oversight, and a whole lot of testing to avoid wasting your ad dollars. Remember, Google's #1 priority is Google's revenue, not yours. Your job is to make each click count, and that starts with taking the wheel back from the algorithm, at least until it proves it deserves your trust. If you have a question on online advertising or need more tips on e-commerce marketing, let me know on my YouTube channel, within the Make Each Click Count Facebook group, or send me an IM or email at info@makeeachclickcount.com, and I'd love to help. And until next time, happy marketing.